Dante says that you are blood angels. Prove it. Show me that the blood of the great angel flows within your veins.
We fight and we die for the Imperium.
We're here at the beginning of a brand new campaign for Warhammer 40K Battlesector. We're in control of the Blood Angels, led by Sergeant Colleen, and we have to destroy the Hormagaunts, the Tyrannid forces that are here throughout these ruins. We have our Sergeant and an assault squad here, both with jetpacks, ready to be able to jump in to assist our intercessors that are already here in the ruins. And then we also have a unit of aggressors holding this ramp with more enemy reinforcements spotted down at the bottom. I think our first play is to bring our commander and his assault squad over this wall using their jetpacks here to be able to get at these Tyranids over here and be able to focus our fire with our other units against the other side of the ruins. Alright, the HQ unit, so our commander is able to have 2 action points. He can use support abilities or he can attack himself multiple times. So we're going to get in and do as much damage as we can to these guys, soften them up for the rest of our units to make an attack. Before we send in our assault squad, we are going to further soften up the Hormagaunts with our intercessors over here. They are equipped with bolt rifles, which have an optimal range of 3 spaces. So every space, while it is laid out as a grid, diagonals count as only 1 space distance. So they have 8 different adjacent spaces is what is considered. So if you were to count 3 spaces from here, you go diagonal, out, out. And that hits these guys at the optimal range for our intercessors to lay down some ordnance. Clicking on the enemies here, we're able to see the full breakdown of their stats, how many unit models they still have, and how much health those individual units have within the larger unit here, and then any special bonuses or effects that are currently activated on them. But they are not going to be around for very much longer, so we're going to dive in with the chainswords and cut these guys down. You may have been able to notice there of the text after the battle resolution, you'd see damage, critical hits, and you would also see momentum. So Blood Angels have a mechanic called Red Thirst. This unit gains momentum when an enemy model is killed based on proximity to the enemy unit, plus 0.4% critical chance per momentum. So these guys love being right up close to the action. Cutting down enemy units is going to give them momentum. Units that max out their momentum are able to take a double turn at 1 point for a single turn, or they can get a bonus to a current skill or weapon that they already have, or you can just leave their momentum maxed out to be able to get all of the bonuses that Red Thirst is giving you. So for the Blood Angels, you're getting that increased critical chance. Now we also have an enemy unit that is hiding back here behind the ruins, and potentially more to come in as reinforcements from any direction. We don't have further scouting information on where the enemies are going to be situated. So we are going to try and move these intercessors over, and we're just going to set them to Overwatch to be able to pick up this enemy once they leave from behind cover. We see the large shield there. That's showing that they are in full cover right now and we cannot directly target them. Okay, with our Overwatch established, it looks like all we have left is to end turn and see what the bugs are going to do. Here they're trying to come out from cover. We take our Overwatch shots. Now they did have partial cover by the time that they were visible, so they are able to get around without too much damage and then leap attack against our Primaris. These units armed with pistol class range units are able to counter the enemy's melee attack, whereas the intercessors there with the full rifles are not able to get off that close quarters shot at the enemy that's charging against them. Boy, it's just cutting through their momentum. These Aggressors, absolute workhorse units. Okay, we have the enemy presenting a number of different targets over here, trying to surround our Aggressors and take this one ramp area. So we're going to see how much we can fire back. We have to take off the guys that have stuck around behind our Aggressors to be able to hold their flank. because enemies do get a bonus if they are attacking against an enemy that is facing away from them. So it's considered facing away just by attacking their flank or from behind. You are facing toward the 3 spaces directly in front of you, or at 45-degree angles. Our rifles actually need a little bit more space to be effective, so we're going to back away in this direction. The enemies, because they were facing away from us, are not able to attack us, and now we can open up on them from behind. Alright, let's go in with the gauntlets and finish off these units. Yes. And we need to get our assault squad into position and our commander around here as well. The assault squad armed with pistols. Their optimal range is only 1, so they're starting to lose accuracy, having to use their sidearms at this distance. But hopefully we still get to pick off a couple of the Tyranids in this situation. And now, how accurate is our leader going to be? Oh, we got 1. And not too great. Gonna need to continue firing here because he gets 2 actions serving as our commander. Or I guess any kind of special unit. There's a number of other units that are going to have double actions that are considered kind of elite tier units. I think bringing the intercessors up to this position should give them a clear shot. They're still going to have to deal with a little bit of cover. Let's just test this out and see if I back up, do they still have cover? Now they actually have more cover, so backfired against me, but we're going to take the shot anyway. Part of their cover could actually be because they're sitting on the ramp, which is considered a lower portion of terrain. We're still able to clean them up here, so this puts us in a very nice position. Now, you have the ability to change the facing of a unit for free once, or actually can I do it multiple times? It looks like you can continue just to change the facing of your unit as often as you want until the turn is, until you feel comfortable basically. So definitely want to do that to make sure that my characters are not going to have anybody sneak up on them from behind. If we can get these guys to change facing. Because the unit's line of sight is also a lot longer in the direction that they are facing, and then you have a much smaller radius when their backs are turned. So if the bugs start to come up from this side next, I want to be able to see as soon as possible where they're going to be coming from. Okay, only 4 enemies remaining. I think the rest of this battle is going to be pretty cut and dry, so we are going to blitz through it. And as it goes, I may overlay some of the storyline audio with my gameplay, try and find a good way to be able to show the cutscenes and the gameplay as well. But we should be able to just wrap this up. If anything too interesting happens, I'll cut back and try and explain how I strategize my placement of characters.
Time flows in contradictions since the invasion. There's an unexpected slowness in the aftermath of an impossible victory. A languid sweetness of air, tasted by the hapless victor. And yet, I also feel the turning of change, and the accumulated minutiae that falls to the survivors. Corpses to be burned, fortifications to be rebuilt, neophytes to be blooded. Regardless of our losses, we are the angels of death, and we are always prepared for war. Not that these are concerns for the fledgling Primaris right now. Balfora is an unforgiving tutor.
Alright, all we have to do is crush this final enemy unit which should not be any problem at all. Now, this mission here in the very beginning is pretty quick, pretty cut and dry. The missions later on in the campaign, I promise, get way more interesting. The maps are a lot larger, enemy unit variety goes up, and you actually have to make decisions on how you are building your squad. You get different types of units that you can add and then upgrade for all of the customization that is so integral to the tabletop Warhammer 40K experience. You get different leaders as well, so there is a lot going on to this game, and I'm pretty excited to be playing through the entire campaign. We are playing on the highest difficulty, so we're going to see how much that ramps things up and if it comes back to bite me at the end, if I'm able to clear it. But so far, I've been really enjoying this game, and I hope you guys stick through to see some more of this awesome campaign.
You can fight. I'll give you that. I don't know yet if you truly are scions of Sanguinius, or just some ruse of the Archmagos. Battle will decide. It always does.
Immediate assistance required. Tyranids converge at the Voxcaster relay on the Sal Veritas western edge.
Form on me, brothers. It appears Balfoura has decided she's not yet done with you.
In the grim darkness of the far future, there is only war. People are born, they live, they suffer, and die. Rarely of natural causes. Days prior to the fall of Cadia, Dante faced his greatest challenge. High Fleet Leviathan had broken through the Krypton shield, and the Tyranids bore directly for the sacred homeworld of the Blood Angels, Baal. Sons of Sanguinius rallied from the far corners of the galaxy. Complete strangers died side by side as brothers. Yet even this unprecedented congregation could not hold back the Great Devourer. In their darkest moment, the Blood Angels gathered around Lord Commander Dante, a last stand. They gave themselves to the Red Thirst and stood in defiance of the alien. Not for survival, for the chapter was doomed, but for the honor of their sire, the great Angel Sanguinius. And then, pandemonium, the Cicatrix Maledictum opened and tore the galaxy in two. Time stretched, contorted. Demons of Khorne poured across the moon of Baal Primus, tearing at Xenos and Marines alike. Havoc reigned. But just as quickly as it appeared, the Cicatrix Maledictum contracted. It took with it both the demons and vast swathes of High Fleet Leviathan. In their place, the Indomitus Crusade appeared, helmed by the avenging sun himself, Primarch Robute Guilliman. The blessed Primarch didn't just bring relief to Baal. He brought with him the Primaris Space Marines, thousands bearing the mark of the Blood Drop. The Primaris were larger, stronger, more resilient than their firstborn brethren. But to the Blood Angels, they represented a different kind of salvation. The promise of these super soldiers was of an improved gene line, more pure and closer to that of Sanguinius. Away from prying ears, Archmagos Call whispered that they showed fewer signs of the flaws that plagued the great angel's blood. No more thirst beating at their hearts. No more armor to be painted black. A semblance of normality has since returned to Baal. The monolithic Indomitus Crusade prepares to leave. Commander Dante, now Lord Regent of half of the Imperium, works to heal his chapter and Baal of the trauma suffered at the hands of Leviathan. And on the moon Baal Secundus, Sergeant Carlion hurries to the aid of a sanguinary priest.